YouTube, what's going on? Black Phoenix here, bringing you the YouTube view, another YouTube video. And I know it's been a while since I posted my last video. For those that don't want to know what happened to the tournament, I ended up losing to Zan, or forward progress Madden. Really good Madden player. Like I said, for those you that have seen the match, came down to the wire, and unfortunately we weren't able to secure the win. He ended up winning the tournament overall. So I believe he's giving away a free copy of Madden 16. If he hasn't done it already, he's doing a giveaway for those. So make sure to go check out his channel. The link is in the last video of the tournament and in my description below. So let's talk about playbooks here. As you guys know, I've been doing Madden 15 playbooks for the year. And for those that were wondering, I've got a couple of private messages asking me, am I doing playbook breakdowns for next year? The answer is yes. I'm going to dedicate this channel to being the #1 source for playbook breakdowns here for Madden for years to come. I don't plan on changing that. I don't plan on, getting rid of the channel for anything like that. So for those that are kind of worried I'm not going to be doing it, yes, I will be doing it. I'm going to be doing it a lot earlier. This year kind of started like in December time frame, which to me, at least in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best idea. But then again, I really didn't think of doing playbooks until that point. But for the new year coming up for Madden, I will definitely be doing that. Probably starting like second week or maybe third week once everybody's kind of got the ins and outs of the game, learn how the game plays, learn the mechanics and things like that compared to this year. Then the breakdowns will start to come by. But in the meantime, I do have predictions, though. Predictions, not inside fact. This is not. I don't work for EA. I'm not a game changer. I don't have any kind of information. But from my gut feeling, these are the playbooks. I'm going to be discussing which playbooks you need to be practicing right now. I know we only have like 2 weeks if you got EA access. You only have, I think, 12 days. For the rest of the community, you only have 17 days. So that's good enough time to at least get comfortable with the playbook that I recommend, and seeing how that can up your game or get you prepared for Madden 16 coming up. Get you like a little bit of a step up here. So first playbook that I think will be a sleeper playbook this year will be the Dallas Cowboys playbook. In the beginning of the year, I feel like since nobody's going to really have any kind of blitzes, nanos, A gaps, B gaps, C gaps, none of that stuff, it's going to be pretty much open competition to basically the 5 wide. For those that love the 5 wide sets, the Dallas playbook is going to be for you. Things to think about with the Dallas playbook. Let's just take a look inside here. You have the empty cowboy, you have the empty tray or 5 wide receiver, or excuse me, 4 wide receivers and the tight end, and then you have the empty trips tight end. So once again, same set, but just now your receivers are on the left side of the screen here. The 5, like their specialty is 5 wide. It continues here in, I think it's going to continue in Madden 16. I think their pistol sets are going to be pretty good. Their shotgun plays and shotgun formations are also really good. Split flex, tray open cowboy, or basically kind of like a, in a way, I think it's like a trips wide ISO or something like that, where the tight end is going to be on one side of the screen and then you have the rest of your receivers. Or have that option of the rest of the receivers on that other side of the screen. Single back sets are actually pretty good. Jumbo, twin tight end flex, wide trips, bunch, ace close, and the single back ace itself. Snugs flip, really good compacted set. Flip trips, kind of a slept on formation. And like I said, the pistol stuff, bunch, ace twins, and wide trips. Not the bunch tight end that you're used to seeing from Madden 15 time and time again, like in like 90% of your games. But the Cowboys, to be honest, I think they're going to be a real sleeper playbook that you guys should take a good hard look at for next year. Like I said, for the 5 wide lovers, this is your playbook. This is the playbook you need to be running. Another playbook that's going to be slept on, that I think should be good next year, is the Lions book. Now, the Lions are basically the Saints 2.0 here. For those that didn't know too much about the Lions book or about the Lions in real life, we're trying to replicate that. I guess in a way, replicate and make our own style of Saints. Our whole thing is based on the Saints offense. A couple of concepts from Baltimore, Colts, and a couple of other places. But the Lions have really good sets, and I hope that translates into next year. Good I form formations. Pistol, ace, strong, and wide trips are really good formations. Ace twins, really good shotgun formation. Double shotgun doubles, snugs flip once again, split flex. Basically the tray open lion or tray open cowboy. Wide trip, ace pair, the single back ace, and a wide trip Z trips, and also the strong close. Like I said, if you haven't looked at the Lions book, I highly recommend you do. This is pretty much, I think, my third playbook. By the playbooks I used Baltimore this year. I used the New England Patriots, which we'll get to in a minute, and the Lions book. Those are my main three offenses that I use, as well as the Texans book because of the combination of Patriots and Ravens book this year. But the Lions book is going to be a real sleeper, so make sure to go take a look at the Lions book if you haven't done so already. Speaking of Green, and next one is up is Green Bay. Year in, year out, Green Bay has always been a good offense, West Coast system. A lot of double sets this year in Green Bay's book, if you haven't looked at the playbook breakdown. But it's a good system, good offense, good running game. I definitely recommend you look at this book in next year's game. It's probably still going to be top 5 book, in my opinion. It's probably like maybe I think a 4 or 5 here, but it's probably going to be the same for next year. Texas book, like I said, it'll be interesting to see with Bill O'Brien having another year as head coach. It'll be interesting to see if the Texans actually break off the separation between him, Bill O'Brien, and Gary Kubiak. So this is kind of one of those curious question mark playbooks that either will be great next year or really, really okay and average next year. Another one that I expected to change a lot is the Colts playbook. In this particular Madden, the Colts playbook are really ground and pound heavy with the I formations and the plays that they have. So I expect them to kind of do a 180 and become more pass heavy, similar to what the Bengals are this year. Really pass heavy, not too many good runs, but you still got a decent amount of a decent run game, hopefully. So I'm looking for that to be kind of like the sleeper, the second sleeper playbook besides the Cowboys, Lions, and I put this as probably the number 2. I think Lions goes number 3 here, but Colts, I look forward to seeing what formations they have in their offense. Another one that's been highly slept on. Like, this is probably the most powerful, underrated playbook, and it's kind of weird to say that in the same sentence. The most powerful, underrated playbook in this thing is the New England Patriots. I honestly believe that next year they're going to be a monster because the only thing that's going to suck about them is really the fact that you can't auto motion high route. So for those that like to run the PA end around and make shifts or PA end around type of plays, yeah, you're going to be out of luck next year, thankfully. But it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this book progresses. Short pass game, power run style of offense. Going to be really, really interesting to see how it evolves, if it's going to get buffed or nerfed. Really curious to see how that one goes. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, Phoenix, isn't the Saints book, shouldn't that be like your number 1 playbook for next year? And I'm going to say not necessarily. I don't think the Saints book, if it does, even if it does stay the same, I don't think it's going to be nearly as effective. Like I said, because of the auto motion routes, you can't make shift screens anymore. And the DBs, the mechanics have actually changed for the secondary to actually where they can actually make plays and less drop picks. I don't think the Saints book will be nearly as effective. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to get buffed, and I'm not sure if it's going to get nerfed. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I seriously doubt this book is going to be good like we're accustomed to seeing in Madden 15. I highly encourage that people do not use this playbook, that or the Eagles playbook, which I'll get to in a minute. But I don't think you would want to start off the year running Saints book. I think going somewhere else for offense, I think that's kind of be your the thing that I highly recommend that you do here. Going towards Philadelphia here, it's pretty much going to be, besides the Saints, of course, because everybody's going to run to the Saints. This is also going to be like another day 1 playbook because of the easy offense. This is pretty much the, hey, I'm new to Madden, you know, let me run Chip Kelly, easy offense type of system. 20 shotgun formations, not a big fan. Maybe they'll give some more single back sets in there because I don't think, Chip Kelly is mainly a shotgun guy. Like, I think there's a lot more single back sets that he could probably add in there. So we'll have to see how that turns out for Madden 16. But look for this to be another day 1 offense. Like I said, you're going to be focusing on 3 main things with the Eagles. Inside zones, PA crosses, and read options. That's pretty much the name of the game with Eagles playbook. I don't think it's too much more than that. Another sleeper playbook. It's not really a sleeper. This year is kind of got a little bit mainstream and then kind of died down, similar to what Oakland experienced this year. How everybody was starting to run Oakland's book because everybody liked it, or it got hot, and then it kind of died down. You don't see too much of it anymore. But the Steelers playbook looks to be very good for next year. If anything, if Madden 6 or Madden 15 has told us that Steelers are good year in and year out in offense as far as playbooks are concerned. And even on the defensive side, it's really good. But in terms of offense, though, Steelers are going to probably be one of those sleeper playbooks that nobody uses, except for those that mainly use it this year. So, best 5 wide in the game, good passing formations. Not so much in the run game. I wish that was a little bit better. But as far as passing is concerned, this is the book to use for next year. For the run-heavy playbooks, the Seahawks, Panthers, Seahawks, Panthers, and 49ers. It'll be interesting to see with the change, especially for the 49ers case, with their changing of the head coach here, how they're going to address the offense. I have a feeling that they might get the generic, what I like to call the generic brand new coach playbook, and it's not going to be nearly as good as it is this year. Same thing with Seattle. I'm kind of interested to see what they have next year. They're going to be more, obviously, they're ground and pound heavy with Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson, so I'm expecting some read option plays here and there. But I'm kind of curious to see if they're actually going to incorporate a little bit more passing-friendly plays with Jimmy Graham coming into town and stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see how Seattle book turns out here. Another one that's been kind of slept on. I'm just fast forward here. It's the Ravens book. The one that's my main playbook that I want to see in Madden 16 and kind of get into in lab. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be the same, if it's going to be different. Is it going to be underrated like it was this year? I said many a times this is probably the most underrated playbook besides the Steelers book in the game of Madden 15. And for those that watch my streams, I run this offense a lot. Like I said, Ravens, Patriots, and Lions book is mainly what I run, as well as Texans. But I'm kind of interested with Mark Trestman coming into Baltimore and Gary Kubiak leaving. I wonder how this book is going to be shaped up. Is it going to be, I mean, with Mark Trestman known as the West Coast guy and Gary Kubiak as a zone running guy, I wonder if I'll be able to actually still make this work, or will I have to switch to another playbook? I guess that's yet to be determined, and we'll see. I'm not really concerned about it right now. Panthers book, as mentioned before, I expect this to probably be another day one playbook, but nearly not as much as Saints and Eagles. I'm more curious about, for the Panthers, whether or not the run game will actually matter, especially with quarterback. I mean, running game, I mean by quarterbacks, read options, and scrambling plays, gun heavy, Panthers, stuff like that. I wonder with the new mechanics that they're implementing into the game, will this be in the run game possibly, hopefully, keyword being hopefully, making a return compared to this year, because the run game is absolutely atrocious. We'll see how that turns out. But other than that, those are my sleeper playbooks. So once again, a recap, here's what I'm thinking is going to be really good for next year, so make sure to look out for these. Dallas, I expect them to be the Saints of Madden 16. I really expect Dallas to be the Saints of Madden 16. With their 5 wide and good shotgun plays, single back plays, they should be really good to use next year. Lions, sleeper playbook, look for them to be good. Green Bay consistently good, so I'm not worried about them. Houston Texans, with see how they separate or differentiate between Bill O'Brien and Gary Kubiak, or will it be the same? If they are the same, I'm not going to be upset, because the Texas books is actually really good. Colts expected to be more pass heavy. Patriots, come on, you got to look at the Patriots if you're a short pass, ground and pound style kind of player, power running style player. Look for those. Stay away from the Saints. Stay away from the Eagles. I don't think they're going to be that good at the jump. And I think, like I said, be different. I encourage people to have their own playbook. Be different. Don't be like everybody else. Or if you see a streamer use it, or somebody gets hot with it, don't just jump on the bandwagon. And if you do jump on the bandwagon, don't run the same thing they do. It's not good for yourself. It's not good to help you get better at the game. Steelers book, sleeper. Make sure to look out for them. Seattle, once again, seeing if they're going to be interesting for next year. St. Louis Rams, another good book this year that kind of went unnoticed. I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to be good as well. But that's it, guys. That is the video. Let me know in the comment section what playbooks are you excited to see. And once again, I will be doing playbook breakdowns for Madden 16. Give it about the second week of Madden 16 to start looking for the breakdowns. I apologize earlier for those that wanted to do the bonus playbooks. I really just did not feel like doing them because of the fact that it's close to being the end of Madden 15, and I don't think it was worth doing breakdowns for these as like I said, as the new Madden season approaches. But if you guys want a quick breakdown, pass balance and run and gun are your best bets. Run and shoot is good until you get to the red zone. The run heavy, run balance aren't good. West Coast is definitely nerfed from last year because of the run game being non-existent and their formations being a little bit more run friendly. Maybe they'll have a little bit of a bounce back next year, but I don't think so. So like I said, the best bang for your buck, run and gun book. Second is pass balance. Third, I would probably go say run and shoot with their option routes. Like I said, you're going to have trouble in the 20 and red zone pretty much just because their plays aren't really suited for a red zone type of offense. So that is it, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. And that will be it. Peace. Bye, G's.